if I want to count from 117, actually, let's go ahead and do 177, and I want to count to 543, we notice here that 543 is not an even hundred. So I'm going to pull my hierarchy back up, and I'm actually going to switch the spots so the hierarchy can be on top. So as you notice, hierarchy 1, part 1, count by ones until you reach a 10. Number 2, count by tens until you reach 100. Number 3, count by hundreds until you reach your number. Well, we have to take this part out until you, and then we have to talk about until you reach your number's hundreds place. Then repeat all of the steps. As necessary. So as you see here, we have 177 to 543. So we're going to count up from 177 to 543. So let's go and start at 177. And we're using the arrow method because it's more efficient than the bundle method. And I would like you guys to get started with the arrow method, but if you still need to use the bundle method, that's fine. It's whatever makes you comfortable. It's just this way's a little faster and might help you. Alright, so hierarchy 1, part 1, count by ones until you reach a 10. So plus 1, now we have 178. Plus 2, now we have, plus 1, now we have 179. Plus 1, now we have 180. So hierarchy 1 is complete. Part 1 complete. Let's go ahead and look at part 2. Count by tens until you reach 100. So 180 plus 10 is 190. And then let's go down here. 190 plus 10 is 200. Condition 2 is satisfied. Now let's look at condition 3. Count by hundreds until you reach your number's hundreds place. So what is the number we're looking for? What is the hundreds place? It's 5. So we're going to count up until we get to 5 in the hundreds place. Okay, so at 100 we get 300. I don't know why my arrow went like that, but that's okay. Add by 100, we get 400. And finally, add another 100, we get 500. Now, probably saying, Mr. Cannon, that is where we stopped the last 2 lessons. What are we going to do now? Well, this is where the last part that we just added to the hierarchy is. We need to repeat all of the steps as necessary. So we're at 500 now, right? Well, let's look at 543. How many ones do we need to get to 543? We need 3 ones. So there's a couple ways to do this. You can either just add 3 and make it 503, or if you want to be traditional with how the arrow method has been portrayed, you can just add 1, which gives you 501, add another 1, which gives you 502, and add another 1, which gives you 503. It just depends on your skill level and your comfortability level. If you feel like you can do it the faster way, do it. If not, just go the slower way. It's not a big deal. Math is not a race. Math is an experience. So now that we got our 3 and we match our 3's here, let's go ahead and let's get our 4. So we need to add by 10, or if you just know that you could just do 4 tens, you could just add 40 right off the bat. That's not a big deal to get 543. But again, if you want to do it the more methodical way, which is okay, you can just add by tens until you get to that 543. So add 10, 513, add another 10, 523, go around. Add another 10, which will be 533, and add the last 10, which will be 543. So that is our answer. And what did we learn today? Well, we learned that step 3 can be repeated, and it actually is kind of easier once we get to that hundreds place because all we have to do is look at the place value in front. Now, this won't always be the case because we're going to have to look at thousands and 10,000s eventually. But we're hoping that by the time we get to those numbers, this is more of an in-head thing instead of a written out thing. Alright, well, that is our little bonus brain teaser lesson of week 11. We will learn this again soon. But as always, everybody, have a great day, and we'll